Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are, everybody.
I was going to say happy Friday, and it's not. It's Thursday, but it's my son's Friday because he doesn't have school tomorrow. So we've been saying this all week.
Right.
Thursday's
This
your
is my
Friday.
Yep,
Yeah. So happy Thursday, Friday.
exactly. Now, in today's video, we are going to answer the question, should you brand you or the company you represent first?
I think it's a good question, and before we dive in, as you know, if you're, and maybe you don't, maybe this is your very first time listening to us, but people say, what's a PIP? What's a PIP? Why are you the Pip Sisters? So for us, PIP stands for passive income profits, and we always are working towards teaching you how to create more active income so you can funnel it into passive income, right? Ultimately, the goal is to have money that comes in no matter whether you're working or not. That's the ultimate goal. But for most of us, we need to build up more active income, meaning stuff that we have to put our energy and effort into so we can funnel it into passive income. And one of the many different ways that Chrissy and I do that is through network marketing. And we rep for things that we believe in, right? Things that are, we rep for a lot of things that contribute to our passive income as well.
Exactly.
Right. So, whether it be automated marketing systems or whether it be investing, right? So when people come into a network marketing, there is a big, great debate. Should I be branding myself or should I be branding the company? And you really have three choices, and it doesn't have to be all inclusive. Like I'm only going to do this, right?
Right.
But you have three choices. You branding yourself, your personal brand, right? And sometimes it doesn't necessarily mean that. Personal branding can also just be how you compose yourself, right? How people perceive you as, in the world. It's not always just your logo and things like that. Then we have the team branding. So if you're part of a team, and then we have branding the company. And I really want to talk to Christy today about this because she's, you guys know I've been in network marketing for a long time, but she's not. She's new. Yep. You're not really new anymore. I hate to tell you.
2 years in, right?
Yes, you're not a noob. And we don't even believe in noobs, but that's for another story, talking about noobs. But and is that noobs NOOBS or noobs NEWBS? Anyway, so I'm just when you came into the space and then you learned how to trade first, really, but then you started deciding that you were going to market some of the products and services that we do. You really did start to brand yourself, Chrissy Pips, and just like with your content and with even with your, I mean, yes, the colors and things, but just like who you were as a person out there more than anything else. And I'm just wondering, like, did you have a discussion with people, or just this is just where you went? Or did somebody advise you to start marketing yourself?
So, as you guys know, like Christy and I both have degrees in marketing. And that's kind of where it stemmed from. When I joined, I decided to trade and learn to trade, right? And then when our mentor decided that we as a community were going to start to build, I was like, okay, if I'm going to start building, well, what I'm going to do is share my journey, because I would like to have other people know that you can start from knowing nothing to getting to where I am and come along on the journey with me. So in order for me to share my story, I needed to brand myself. So that's kind of how it like started, was like, this is the journey. And how do I share the journey? Well, I create a brand. That way people can identify specifically with this one thing. When you hear Chrissy Pips, you know what it involves,
Do you feel like you got any kind of like pushback for focusing on your social media brand at all? Or did you feel like everybody was like super supportive? What, like, I don't know if I'm framing the question right, but you know what I mean? It's like, well, we want you doing this, this, and this, but you're doing this. Do you feel like you made the right decision in the end to do that?
So yes, to answer the question, yes, I feel like I made the right decision. And as far as like pushback and the feedback that I got, a lot of the mentors and things that I have are very, very open to letting me do what I would like to do, right? And they're open to letting me do what I would like to do because they can't or it's not a good practice to tell somebody on your team that's excited about doing something that it's going to fail, especially if you're not doing it. Some of my mentors don't do the things that I do as far as like branding myself online.
Right.
So I didn't get any, well, you shouldn't. I got, well, go ahead, you know? And as a result, that kind of helped me out because, like, as you know, like I branded myself and then I helped the team brand.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I love it. And then even some of my other mentors, helping them with their branding and things like that too. So yes, like I did not get any negative feedback. I got positive reinforcement and it was a great decision to do so.
Yeah, because I've had a lot of negative feedback from leadership inside of the companies we're currently in, as well as other things that I've done of the way that, I do things. And you're right. It's like, and I think with you too, there might have been a learned thing very early on with you is you're not someone that you should tell what to do,
Yeah.
right? Because and one of the things that we've both grown as is that if we need help, we're going to ask for it. If we don't know something, we're going to say we don't know something. I am constantly learning. Like I empty my cup often because and that's why we have mentors and things because I don't know everything, right? I have things I feel like I have a strong expertise in, and then everything else I don't know jack about it, right? Everything else in the world. And I think that when we come into a network marketing business, I did get a lot of pushback for the way that I do things. And so and I don't care. And how do I say this? For most of the time that I was doing things for the last 15, 20 years, I didn't care. All of a sudden, I cared. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's like I started caring and I'm like, I didn't even want to come back into the network marketing space to begin with. That's why I started trading. So it's kind of like, well, forget this. I'll just trade.
Yep.
If I'm going to get this much pushback or lack of support, I'm just going to trade. But I've come back to my way of thinking like I don't need anybody's validation, else's validation. And I am who I am and I believe what I believe because of the success I've had. Right.
Right.
So, yeah, it's interesting because it is a great debate because a lot of times people want to know, should I be branding myself? Especially now that we have the internet. Think about 20 years ago when I started, only a few people were doing network marketing on the internet, which is one of the reasons we exploded because
Yep.
nobody was marketing on the internet. In fact, we were told that you were crazy. You're wasting your time if you were doing emails and things like that. So, and then all of a sudden, oh, you sponsored. How'd you get to that? I went from zero to $5,000 a month in 120 days when we,
Yeah.
that's not an income claim, but it's the truth. It's not to tell
Right.
you would do that. But it was like, it's in May of whatever year that was. I think my check was like $300 for the month I had been doing. And all of a sudden I was like, I need to get to $5,000 a month as quickly as possible because I wanted to be single in my apartment. And so, boom, by August, I was there. And I started that trip in May. And all of a sudden, you go from you're crazy. Why are you doing this to how did you do that?
Yep.
Right. And so it's like, let me see what you're doing. And so for me, because I am more introverted, I'm not going to go out in the world and talk to people at the gas station and things like that. It's not because I'm shy, but I don't want to socialize when I'm out running errands and things, right?
Right.
So like the internet was a great way to get started. And so even back then we initially got pushback. Like, what are you guys doing? Right. Oh, and you're repping for multiple things. What are you doing? Then all of a sudden it was, how are you doing that? How are you doing
Yep.
that? And so like you have this shift, right? And so when I came back into the space recently, last few years, I felt that pushback again, but I don't know why I cared. But I don't care anymore. I know that I have to be true to myself, and I do think that branding yourself for me is branding like what you stand for, right? Like who you are as a person. And when people come to you, they get you consistency. It doesn't necessarily mean that you, the listener, has to go out and like hire a social media expert, things
Right.
like that. It's just I love what Christina said, and I think that you guys out there want to just take note, just documenting your journey on social media is a huge thing. What I do see people do is they'll just drop links like join my MLM, join my MLM, join my
Yeah,
MLM. That is a fast way to get blocked off someone's public feed. They're
ex-
hiding you. You don't know it, but they hid your profile a long time ago.
right.
But coming through and documenting your journey and being really authentically you is a good, it's not the only way, but it's a good way to brand yourself. If you're like, I don't even know what to do, well, just document your journey.
Exactly.
I got started in this business and I'm doing this. And today I did this, and just documenting, telling people your story along the way as well. And then Christina alluded to team branding. I personally think personal branding for most people should come first if you want to have longevity
Yep.
and long-term success, because you don't know if you're only pushing company stuff. What if that company isn't here from 5 years from now?
And people hate when we say that, but it is the reality of the world that we live in. A lot of people, because of COVID, had a job one day, woke up the next day with no job, and they didn't have a plan B. So for us, I have not had a job since 2019. I cannot see logically putting all of my eggs in one basket. So we do trade, we do invest, we do like promote marketing systems and things like that. We do promote multiple things because we want multiple streams of income, because if one stops, our world doesn't stop turning. Like it,
Right.
I really want to just emphasize the fact that having multiple streams of income should be a goal, and branding yourself outside of the things that you represent is the easiest way to put yourself out there as being a representative of multiple things. Like,
Even as something as simple as making sure that you are using a domain name or names in all of your marketing on the internet, because let's say you rep for ABC MLM and you do a YouTube videos and you're dropping the ABC MLM link into all the descriptions. What happens if you're not repping for them anymore for whatever the reason, whether they went away or you decide not to, or they change the comp plan, you don't like it, or they change the ingredients in the secret formula and you don't get the same health benefits anymore, which we've seen happen as well.
yep,
And whatever. The point is, now either you have to go find every single place you ever posted it, not to mention if you send any emails out with that, there's no change in that email in someone's inbox. And I go back through and find emails that I'm looking for that are sometimes 2 years old, and I'll click it and the links are bad. If you brand yourself, also be using things like domain names. It's a few dollars for the year to get a domain name, right?
yep.
And actually, and I own way too many of them just because I think of good ideas and then I don't want people to steal them if I
Exactly.
don't
So you
grab
gotta get
them
the
right
domain
away.
real quick. Yep.
Right. Yeah. Because it's such a cheap, it's like one of the cheapest things you can do
Really quick.
for
You get a
marketing
year.
yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
You get a year to think about what you want to do with it for real. Like
Right. You're
on
not going to under $20 to grab
right.
something that is going to keep your marketing links
Personalized.
branded and so let's say now instead of the ABC MLM link in my YouTube video or in my emails, I've used my domain. Well, if that domain points to that MLM, ABC MLM, but for whatever reason, I'm not repping for it anymore, all I'm going to do is change my forwarding inside of Google Domains or GoDaddy or wherever you're hosted at. And that domain is still an active domain going to the
Right.
new thing, no matter where they see it. So, and it's like, well, what about tracking? Yes, you can still track and all that. That's for technical training. Okay.
Right.
There's still things you can do to track all your stuff if you're using a domain, right? So it's really important, I think, for me, and this may not be the case for everyone. Like, we're not here to tell you there's one right or wrong way, but I do believe from experience that we would have seen a lot of our team members that weren't using Fast Track, who didn't subscribe to our concepts, because we always have tons of people who aren't using Fast Track inside of our, downlines, if you will,
Right.
right? That would use the company branding on everything or the company systems. I'm not against company marketing systems. Let's say, because I think the best companies have a capture pages and emails and stuff for
Right.
their people to use. If you're going to use those things, please be backing up your subscribers in there every 2 to 4 weeks, because otherwise you lose them. I've seen so many people use company systems and then they lose all the subscribers. The whole point of building an email list is to be able to market to them forever.
If it's not your link, it's not your list.
Right. So, if there is a way to back up the contact in that marketing system and you want to use it, I'm not telling you not to, but make sure you're backing it up. And if you can't
Right.
back up the contents and download them, I wouldn't use the company system, to be honest.
Even
Right?
like we're having a domain service that we were using before that is no longer going to be in business. If you are using a service and you can't back up your list, it's not recommended that you get involved with that service.
Right.
Because companies disappear and reappear all the time. So it doesn't matter what end you're on, but having access to your list and ownership of your list is important. No matter if you're using your own domain somewhere, make sure you can get it, or you're using the companies, make sure you can get it,
Yeah, and I had just this little bit of a revelation this week because we did one of the systems that we use, which I didn't really, I've been using them, but Christy and I have been kind of slowly moving on to another platform. Is that one of the things that we've been missing with using that is teaching what we call QC, which is quality control.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like I'm coming back into the space going, okay, because we had such a tight knit system. And one of them is that you have this thing on the first of the month, let's just say, first Monday, whatever it is for you, every month, that you're clicking all your domains, making sure they go where they're say they're going to do. This is part of your brand.
Yep.
That's why I'm still talking about this, that you're backing up your contact list every 2 to 4 weeks, because we are having that company go away and they're giving us time to back up our contact list, but I hadn't been backing it up. Now I have a list of those contacts on my computer before they went through the cycle on that platform of unsubscribing and joining other things. So I need to back up those lists again. And I've like not having this checklist of quality control. That is also just part of branding. Do you want broken links out there?
Right.
Where people maybe come across your link a year from now, 2 years ago, and they click it and it don't work. It's not a good thing for your brand, right? So, I subscribe to personal branding first, team branding second, company branding third, right? And at the end of the day, if you're building multiple income streams, personal branding and team branding is the thing. That's why I brand Fast Track and why I focus on Fast Track and why I don't hardly ever get on individual company calls, because it's very hard to build multiple income streams that way. So the branding is Fast Track, but at the end of the day, it's still branding myself before the team, the Fast Track team.
Yep.
Right. And then the companies, they get branded inside of the system just by default. Because It's like, hey, I recommend that you get mentoring on crypto here, right? We recommend that you invest in precious metals here, right? And we get your marketing training for affiliate stuff here. So the companies do get branded, but like the face of it is for Christy's is Christy Pips, and for me it's Christy Amber. And it's also not just our colors and things; it's who we are,
right?
Like who we are as people. So I get really passionate about this stuff because any other business that is not network marketing, you would be thinking about branding your company, but it would be your company.
Exactly.
It's not your company. We are partners with these companies. We do not sit on their board of directors. We don't make decisions. There's one company I know in the network marketing industry who has a network marketing advisory board that votes.
Oh.
That's part of it. And they can't change the comp plan and the products without the vote of the networkers inside the company. Nice. One. It's the only one I've ever seen. And I don't rep for it, but I am in awe of what they're doing. I'm hoping it catches on. Yeah. And they have some change in the industry. But at the end of the day, for the most part, you do not have a say in these things. So if you were doing something else and it was your business, you would be branding your business because it was your business and because you did own it, right? But Elon Musk brands Elon Musk and he brands Tesla.
Right.
He still brands himself. You guys should check out the tweet from yesterday from Elon Musk, by the way,
Right.
while you do your own homework, because I was pretty impressed with it. So put your money where your mouth is one of those kind of things, right? So it's like,
Right.
I'm not a huge fan of Elon, but I loved what he put out yesterday. Okay, so anyway, I feel like I'm on like a tangent today about this, but it is a great debate. It's been a debate for as long as I can remember, since the internet came into fruition, especially. Who are the top leaders in your company? Do you know who they are and what they stand for? Chances are yes, because they've branded their name.
Yep. So comment below. Let us know if you have already started in network marketing, what you started out doing. Did you start branding a company or yourself? And if you have not started out in network marketing yet, let us know which avenue you want to take. Are you going to brand yourself, your team, or the company?
Yeah, and when on our fast track training, we are going to teach you how you can plug into automated type systems that are duplicatable, that give you resources your whole team can use, but you can still do little tweaks to make sure you're branding yourself.
Yep.
Right? Because that's why people want the cookie cutter stuff, Christina, because it's all done for them. But at the end of the day, you don't have doing any branding of yourself other than maybe, see you at the top, Christy Amber on the signature, right?
Exactly.
So on Fast Track, we're going to show you kind of how to marry what you're looking for is this cookie cutter thing. And then we're going to show you how to marry that, with a little bit of branding for yourself so that you don't get like washed into the other 100,000 distributors in your company who are using the exact same marketing system.
Yep.
Yeah.
You kind of need to set yourself apart if you're branding you.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I did, while I was branding, some of the things that I use as branding tools, I did get somewhat not positive feedback, but not negative feedback like that. Why would you type feedback?
Right. I know what you're saying. Just like
one of the things was questions. My colors.
Uh-huh.
Because I've branded using pink. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people were thinking that I wasn't going to be able to attract my target audience because it was pink. And I'm like, give me a minute, right. Because the message speaks past the color, but the color gives you that visual cue. Mm-hmm. And that's what I was trying to explain to them. And I'm actually in the process of changing my color scheme and my theme on my social media for my brand. The colors are still like pink, black, white, but I've added in yellow. Mm-hmm. And the name is staying the same. I've actually finally come up with a logo I love. So don't jump into branding yourself thinking that what you come up with first is the be all end all. I changed my social media 5 or 6 different times until I'm changing it again. Like I found something that nobody else is doing that I can do. I know it takes extra work. That's why nobody's doing it, but I'm comfortable with that. And it's in line with the message that fits with my brand. So don't be so steadfast on staying with your colors, the name, the logo when you're starting out, if you're branding yourself, because over time, especially through your journey, your brand is going to evolve a little bit. And so too can your content. Major companies, brands, logos, colors evolve over time. So it's okay. Just don't do like crazy drastic stuff without letting your community know. I did learn to let my community know. So
right,
what happened?
If you're new and you're like, oh man, that seems so overwhelming, you don't even have to do anything with colors and things or logos. Branding, the most important part of branding is your messaging. Yep. Like if you're just coming on and doing some lives every day, or you're, and maybe you're like, I don't want to do lives. Okay, fine. I'm just using this as an example. Yeah. Okay. Like whatever you're doing, it's your messaging. And if your messaging is, drink this green herbal tea every day, join my link. And the next day, drink this green herbal tea every day, join at my link. That is not helpful to you. People want to know, like, people don't.
Who you are and what you stand for.
People join people, like who you are, what you stand for, what is your messaging, What value do you bring? Instead of we're all here to make money. I'm here to
Right.
make money. Are you here to make money, Christy?
Yeah.
Yes. But if that's all you're focused on when you're out there, then you're gonna really have trouble. It
Right.
should be about what kind of value you can bring to people, right? And
Yep.
and that should be the focus, right? And that also evolves, as Christina's talking about, even with your colors and things, your messaging may evolve,
Yep.
right? Christina and I do a lot of things. We invest, we trade, we're marketers, we're MLMers and affiliate marketers, and we have all these things. So we're entrepreneurs. But like what were we going to talk about on this show? So if you go back to day one and start going through, it's like, oh, I don't they don't talk about that anymore like they were talking about in the week one, because we are figuring out our messaging as we do the show. Your messaging can evolve as well over time. The thing is, just start, as Christina has talked about several times
Yeah.
throughout the last several weeks. Just start. So what if you change?
You're gonna learn along the way.
Sometimes you'll do stuff and you'll learn a bunch of stuff and you'll scrap everything
Yeah.
that you did and just start from scratch.
I'm telling y'all, 5 Instagram pages with different themes.
It's okay. Right? It's okay. Right? It's like we are trained from, and I see it with my son in school, again, we have 7 children, they're all grown but one. He's 10. We're penalized for errors. We're penalized for mistakes growing up in school, and how like our grading system works for another show topic, maybe. I don't know. But think about this. You learn best from mistakes, and you just learn best by doing. So like I asked Jason again yesterday, I said, do you have any epic fails today? And he just laughs because I want to hear that he tried something new every day. And we celebrate epic fails because epic fails means he tried something new.
Exactly.
Right. And I want to counteract what he's learning in school, that we get penalized with the red pen.
Yep.
When we don't get stuff right. And I don't know about you, but when I make a mistake, I'll go research what the correct answer is or what I should have done better. And that sticks with me longer than the stuff that I already knew how to do.
Exactly.
Right. Because
I learned that lesson the hard way. So it stuck the hard way, I
screw up daily. I do stuff daily, all the time, every single day. And I'm like, man, I do not know how to do this. You research, you ask questions, you put
and then the rabbit holes start.
Right. So just start. It's okay. It's okay to not be perfect. I mean, I tell you,
you can stick with yourself.
Right. It's like you can tell I'm still working on trying to get my video right. It's why these videos are still fuzzy. Right. And the first thing I worked on was my audio, which is getting better. But what I'm going to wait till it's all perfect before I get on the show. Then we would still be waiting.
Like if everybody waited for the circumstances to be absolutely perfect, you would never start, because there's no such thing as perfect circumstances. Like ever. If we like the Pip Sisters, we've had this brand name for a couple years. And we just started we're on show number 30. This is 37.
Are we really though? How exciting is that?
33.
That's cool.
Yeah, episode number 33, right? But we've done like live Zooms, we've done trainings using the Pip Sisters brand, but this is the first time we've actually said, you know what? Let's start, right? And if you wait for things to be perfect, you'll never get to that point, because now we're in such a era of technology that something's changing every day.
Yeah.
You're going to learn something new every day. Like when I started my first YouTube channel, every single upload, I learned something new. If you look at my first videos, they're horrible. Look at the videos now, they're still horrible, but they're better than the other ones, right? So it's over time, you're never going to know everything you need to know about one thing if it's technology based, period, because technology keeps changing. So be easy with yourself, be easy with your progress, be kind to yourself and your progress. Put together a plan and just start implementing. Don't put together a plan and wait till you finish the whole plan to start. Like it'll stifle you. Don't stifle yourself.
Like, what are you, and I know we're getting off, like, specifically talking about branding, but what are you already good at? Like, so I was at a conference a while back, like maybe 3, 4, or 5 years ago. I can't remember, right? I remember what it was, but I don't want to say where I was because that company's not in business anymore. But one of the speakers said something that really resonated with me, and to this day, and I am speaking about it. If you are a good writer, be a great writer. Be a blogger. If you already kind of gravitate toward a certain medium, if you are a good audioer, be a good audioer. If you're like, I'm not great at video, but I'm great at audio, then go do podcasts and do audio overviews. If you're great video, be a great videoer. But if you have a tendency to migrate in certain area, you can focus there. You don't have to be doing everything, right? You'll see us repost a lot of places because I do think that you can take, video and audio and repost them on a lot of different social media platforms and things like that. But that's not us creating content specifically. Like, we'll take the same type of content and post it all over the place.
Right.
If you are really good at writing, then go start a blog, right? And then just learn how to get traffic to that blog. It's all still about getting traffic to no matter where you're doing your stuff, whether, but when she said that, it's like, if you're good at blogging, then do blogging. If you're a good audio, or be a good audio, or if you're a good video, be a good at video. Don't have to compare yourself to what other people are doing. I think that everybody gravitates towards something that what are your strengths? We need to work on your weaknesses. What if we just always just kept working on our strengths and making those strengths even better, and let someone else, take care of the stuff we're not good at, outsource that stuff.
Who did that?
Who?
Henry Ford.
Yes, you're right.
Henry Ford was good at a thing, and he found the things he was not good at and found people who were good at those things and ran with it. You don't have to be good at everything. Sometimes you just need to know a person that's good at the thing you're not, or know how to get access to the information. Like, stop trying to figure everything out. Sometimes networking and building a community is going to be more beneficial to you. Like, inside of our trading community, we really, really, really talk about the mastermind and how that helps us. And if it weren't for the mastermind, Christy and I would not be like she is my sister in charge, so you can't tell me nothing else. Right.
Right.
If it were not right, if it were not for that mastermind principle and us being able to lean in and say, you know what, I'm not good at this. What are you good at? And being able to leverage the community and work together a lot. Like, the learning curve that you have inside of our community is crazy, because you don't have to know everything. You just have to know to ask the right question. And
right,
even
and
if you halfway do it, like, we get you,
Whether it's our marketing community, like over at Legendary, or it's our creating community over at IM, people in our mastermind communities gravitate towards different things. Like, if you, and I know, again, we're off topic, but I don't care. I'm like on one of those days where let's just chat, right? The NFT space, that whether what that is or not, we have people who really know a lot about it. Then we have people who really know about the DeFi stuff, right? And we have somebody diving into parachains. It's like, let me just plug into this person for this information, this person, because I don't have time to research everything. Now, my husband is now very diving in specifically to gaming crypto, and we found some mentors specifically all they do is buy crypto gaming tokens, and they're teaching us how to stay out of the scams.
Yep.
Right. And how to look for, because this particular person, and we don't pay for his mentoring, right? I'm just saying that we're following a couple of people. Why are we following him? Because we want to learn specifically about gaming, and that is a passion of this guy's. His whole thing is about that. The crypto gaming world has not exploded. It's like getting involved with Bitcoin 10 years ago.
Right. So we talked yesterday. What was it about? Niche? Was it niche down yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
No, target audience was yesterday.
Well, yeah, but we did talk about niche down. Yeah. And so it's the same thing in our masterminds. And then when we come over to like our marketing community with Legendary, we have people who really have become experts at TikTok.
Yes.
People have become experts at just using Pinterest.
Yep.
People have been expert. So it's like what I don't have to learn about everything I by myself. I can come into that community, into the Facebook groups, and have chats with other marketers. What am I not going to do? I'm not going to ask marketing questions of my crypto mentor. I'm not going to ask crypto questions of my marketing mentor, right? It's two
Right.
separate communities with people who are extremely knowledgeable. And what's our point? You don't have to know everything, nor do you have to. You can shortcut your own research by plugging into communities with other people who've done research already.
Exactly. Now, if you guys have not already subscribed to our Pips for Brunch newsletter, make sure that you're subscribed. That's where we share these communities, right?
Yes.
So if you are more curious about crypto and you want some of that information, make sure you're subscribed because we send out information periodically, right? If you're interested in the network marketing space, you want to learn the same way we did, make sure you subscribe, right? If crypto gaming is a thing for you, like definitely plug in, right? But we give out a lot of sauce on the show, but our communities, they're lit. So pipsforbrunch.com. Make sure you read those emails, share the content with other people so that they can get some value from it as well, especially if you are. And, plug in. It's all about plugging in,
Yep. And I have some other things that, like when you were talking about Henry Ford, that came to mind, but I'm gonna save them because we're like way definitely over time today. But it was fun.
I
It was
love like
fun.
when we go like for those of you who don't know, Christy and I have a very unique problem. Okay. And it's not really a problem. We have a unique relationship. Every single time we get on the Zoom, we can stay on for hours.
We can. And it's like it's always comes out with a lot of beneficial stuff. It's not like we don't get work done. And like we'll both be typing and talking and doing
Right.
something else, right? But yeah, it's funny.
Multitasking moms, right?
Right. We have and we have a lot in common on how our work ethic and what we want to accomplish, but we're two very different people with very different interests and different backgrounds. But we have a thing where we really want to give people value. We have
Exactly.
different strengths, right? Christina, I learned so much about social media from Christina, right? And I'm like the online marketing person when it comes to funnels and multiple income streams, so we can marry that, and we end up having the most interesting conversations. And I think that every conversation we have, we both come out better people on the other end every time.
Right. Now, if you guys want to be part of those conversations, don't forget we have a class coming up that we're going to be doing. We're going to give you some social media hints and tips and tricks, right? A getting started guide. We're going to give you some information about network marketing and how to get involved and how to get on the fast track for your business. So don't forget, we will be releasing the flyers and the information for you guys very soon. But make sure that you're a part of the newsletter because our subscribers to the newsletter will have access before everyone else.
For sure.
Yep.
So we appreciate each and every one of you. If you have questions or topics you'd like us to cover, or if you're a network marketer and you'd like to come on our show, we'd love to have you.
Yes.
If you're a network marketer at any stage of your business, come on the show, get some exposure for your branding, and tell us your story, right? Because that's really all we're doing is telling you our journey and our story and things that we've made mistakes with and things we've had successes with. And no matter if it's your first day or your 101st day or your 1,001st day in the industry, we'd love to have you on the show. And I think we're going to start trying to do some more of that as well.
Right.
Because you guys are probably getting sick of us by now.
I mean, 33 videos in,
Right, exactly.
You or you love us and
right,
you'll be back.
Yes. That's so funny. I'm only kidding. I'm saying it tongue in cheek, but I wasn't kidding about if you would love to share your personal, story and journey with us and you're in the network marketing industry. Come on up. Absolutely. So thank you for listening today. We appreciate you.
Right. That is going to wrap us up. Hopefully you guys are going to subscribe and then we will see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.